Hey, it's Feeling Mood Friday, and today I have a question to present to you. How ingrained is our past programming, and is it affecting us as an adult? So how ingrained is your past programming, and is it affecting you as an adult? I've been thinking about this a lot lately because over the last few months, I have definitely had a lot of things that have come to my attention that were learned from past programming as a child, or behavior that I picked up as a child, or habits that I picked up as a child that I have continued on and brought into my adult life, that I'm now looking back being like, there's probably better ways to handle certain things. And one of them, for instance, when I was little, I was brought up with the learning that as soon as you're done eating, you have to get up out of the table and automatically clean your dish. And while you're at it, you might as well clean the kitchen too. And it didn't matter if people were still eating. Your job, that I knew, was I got to get up. I got to be a good boy. I got to be a good boy. I'm going to get up. I'm going to clean the dish, and I'll clean up the kitchen while I'm at it as well. And I've kept that with me because, hey, I want to be a good boy. But really, as an adult, what I'm being is a maybe not the best host. And I didn't realize that. I was carrying around past behavior, past programming. And I had somebody call me out on it a few years ago, and they're like, hey, Jake, like, can you sit down and actually finish the meal with me and not get up and do the dishes? And I was just like, well, what do you mean? I'm cleaning up. It didn't make sense to me. And they're like, well, I feel rushed. I feel like you're rushing me when you get up out and you're leaving me. I feel like I'm not as important. And I never looked at it that way until it was presented. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like totally. Yeah. Like, I don't want you to feel that way. So I now work on staying present and staying there as a host should be, instead of getting up and doing those dishes that I was maybe brought up to do in my life. And I'm trying to stick with it. And I will say at times it's challenging in the fact that, I'll sit there with the dish, but I still have past programming voices that sometimes pop in my head. And it's voices of my childhood, my dad being like, hey, you finish your milk, you go up and you clean your dish, boy. And while you're at it, you clean the kitchen. It's this programming that just happens. And it's like I'm sitting there with the dish in front of me and I'm hearing it go off my head. And here's what happens. Okay, here's how we change that, because we all have this voice sometimes that pops up. We give it something else to be thinking about, okay, or another choice. Okay, and it's not me that I'm not being a good boy. What it is I'm being a great host for the person that is here in front of me. Okay, I want to make them feel more important than a dirty dish. Okay, when it really comes down to it, because if I'm taking the dish and making that more important than actually being a good host, there's something there. So it gives me a reason to change that habit. So the question is where else are we doing that in our life? We take the time and notice these things, because, if it's such a small change with me, sitting there and waiting to do the dishes to make someone feel better, hell yeah. Hell yeah, that seems like an easy change. But sometimes it's not so easy because it's so ingrained. All right, so let's take a good look at our life. Let's take the time to contemplate and to notice and to meditate and to really look into some of our actions that we do, and really also notice feedback, hear feedback, and be aware of some of these other ways to see things, to see things, and then we can start to make that change, because maybe what was serving us once before in our childhood isn't so much serving us as an adult. All right, so that's all I gotta say on that piece.